Okay guys, we're here again. Again, right now we're focusing on submission defense, and right now we're focusing specifically on the straight ankle lock or Achilles lock position. Now, the main thing we're trying to kind of present is there's two main ways you need to operate or move when you do any type of grappling, wrestling, or jiu-jitsu. And that is, you must recognize whether it is a tight situation or a loose situation, or if it's high connection or low connection. And that's generally based on how much friction you have between your two bodies, how connected you are, how much do you move independently, or how much do you move together in connection. There is always some extent of connection when wrestling. When you're at the higher end, you both operate by moving and manipulating each other. When you're at the lower end, you kind of move independently of each other with lower connection, okay? So this is important to understand in all positions, right? But the basic idea is when it's a lower connection situation, it's fairly easy to force disconnection to remove yourself from the threat of the attack, of whatever submission hold you're in. And when you're in a higher connection situation, you're actually going to force more connection deeper inside the control, generally from the top position, and you're going to crush whatever control or attacking opportunity they have, so that you can again maneuver out of the situation and remove yourself from the threat. So we're going to have a look at that here in the straight foot lock, and again we can look at starting straight here if you want, or you can go through the scenario from the standing position. But regardless of how it gets there, we're going to have a look at, right, there's two scenarios we've talked about. There's two kind of avenues of defense here, and it's based on what hip my partner's on and what hip I'm on. Generally speaking, this is a safer, easier option if you can force your partner or yourself to your opposite side hip, so that you can start to build base. And as you build base, it becomes very easy to start crushing your partner, taking all the power out of their grip, and then escaping that way. Now the issue is sometimes our partner's very quick, sometimes they're very good at getting into this position and keeping us on the same side hip of the leg that they're squeezing and attacking. And it becomes difficult to move in that direction, all right? And the danger is, the longer your partner's in this posture, the more likely they're going to be able to generate enough force on your ankle to damage you or force you to tap, okay? And again, if you are durable on the leg, you can potentially force that other side. But right now it's not working, we're stuck here, and we don't have a lot of time here. All right, obviously, whenever you feel any pressure, you should always try to grip the person's body, shoot your foot deeper inside, protect yourself, protect your foot as much as possible. But no matter how well you do at gripping and pushing your foot, eventually, you're going to wear out through your muscles, and they're going to be able to capitalize on the finish. So we must remove ourselves from the situation. We're going to have a look at one of the two variations we can use to escape, moving in this direction. So again, the first thing we want to look at, is pushing the foot off of the hip immediately. Now what I'm looking to do is to sit my body closer to the area that he's attacking. And this is one of his main frames or blocking mechanisms to make sure that he can isolate the hip, the knee, and force extension on my ankle. All right, so I'm going to remove this by, again, making a C grip at the big toe. I'm going to push the big toe onto the mat, and I can even lean on his foot if I need to. Some people prefer to put their hand on the mat so they can move closer to their hand. All right, by pushing the opposite side, I'm going to push with this side. I'm going to start sitting in that direction. What's really important to note here is whenever you move over the leg, it's pretty easy for our partner to drive this leg in front of your body in some manner and create another blocking mechanism. And this is important to understand. I can't forget about this leg. As I move over, he can use this leg in some way to block my body, and then he can continue attacking the submission hold. So it's important that I'm always aware of this front side leg here. As I push the foot off my hip, I'm going to hug the thigh here like this, so it's difficult for my partner to maneuver into good position. I sit to the opposite side, and now I'm going to make a decision based on what's occurring here. There's two basic ways that I can move. One, I've taken the pressure off of my foot, and my ankle joint, and there's two basic outcomes. One is me staying on the bottom and figuring out how to pull my leg out of position, and the secondary one is to force myself back onto the top. Okay. Sometimes my partner's holding really tight here and they're trying to finish, all right, and I'm able to come up onto the top. Even from this position, I'm able to drive into my partner, put my hand on the mat, lift my butt, and drive until I can come onto the top position, okay? And again, once we return to the top position, all right, whether it's inside the legs or outside the legs, all right, this is a little more difficult option. We can start removing the grip of the ankle. We start driving our heel deep inside, our knee all the way to the mat as we pull the arm up our leg. Now, this can be one of the more difficult options because there's still a barrier of the femur in front of our hip. Something else that can work very effectively is we're able to drive our body all the way to the outside of the legs completely. And now that we're here, we're going to turn our hip in that direction again. The problem is, before, because this leg is blocking our body, it's sometimes very difficult to get onto this hip. But once we clear the leg, we can now turn our knee back in that direction and start to force the top position. And then again, if we need to, we can drive our knee down into the mat. And we escape, okay, the straight ankle lock on the bad side for us. Again, the side where he has a very, very deep attacking opportunity on our ankle.